Hi everyone, welcome back to the sports breakdown once again. So, what a victory for India once again! Another PAYTM trophy victory for Team India. So, anyone can join using the link. So, another PAYTM victory for Team India as they crushed West Indies by just 8 runs. But it was a classic match to watch. Roman Powell actually scored two sixes in the last over of Harshal Patel, but Harshal Patel bowled. A low full toss, which Powell couldn't connect. I mean, that was the weakness of Roman Powell today. Couldn't connect those full tosses to a six. But brilliant stuff from in Team India today, and they win the series 2-0. So it doesn't matter if anyone's watching. At least you guys can watch it afterwards. But yeah, I mean, Rishabh Pant played a magnificent innings, and if I have the video, I can show this. I hope no one copyrights though. Give me a minute though. I want to show this superb shot of Rishabh Pant. Very impressed. I mean, I know people are criticizing Rishabh Pant. Even I criticize Rishabh Pant. He needs to show that consistency still, even though he received the man of the match, in my opinion. But still, I know it's a Friday. I know people are not going to sleep. I hope. I don't know to say that, but anyways, back to the topic. I mean, wait, I want to show this shot of Rishabh Pant. Let's see the latest. Let's see. I think it's on BCCI TV. So give me a sec on that. Oh, we have Surinder Paji. Yes, what a victory! What a victory for India, Paji sir.
Yes, Pavan, I'm shocked. I was expecting a defeat. I have to admit, when Rockman Powell and Puran were hitting the ball, and then
Hmm.
suddenly, three good overs at the end, they got India home. So excellent victory for Team India, and I just hope now that management puts some changes in for the third one, and
But
it
what
gives.
a six from Rishabh Pant, by the way. That shot, that helicopter shot. I mean, that was
It
so
was
beautiful to
amazing.
see.
It's just the
That
sound
was
of
just crazy.
the sound of the bat. That's one of the best shots I've ever heard. And
Hmm. Very true. Very true. Yeah. And Jason
you
Holder just bowled a full toss, and yeah, what a shot! What a
what
shot by Rishabh Pant. Yeah, the
and
technique.
and if
Yeah,
you and if you watched it live, you would seen what
yeah.
they said. One ball before, he asked for the heavy bat, and so he gets the heavy bat, and he does that in the next shot. So, uh, Rishabh Pant for you.
Hmm. Yeah, good to see Rishabh Pant. I mean, actually consistent. I mean, for once, because we've seen him. I mean, with his careless shot in the last test. I mean, sorry, last 2020 match. But in this 2020 match, we saw a different response from Rishabh Pant, and that's good to see. I mean, that shows that he. Do you think that he has to bat at number five for both Team India and for Delhi Capitals without batting him at number four? Do you think that's
Yeah,
his suitable position?
100% has to bat at number five, six at the latest, depending on the game. But five and six, they shouldn't be opening the batting for India because we have so many openers. We have so many potential number threes. We have so many potential number fours. So the wicket keeper batsman, five or six, perfect timing for him. So and he gives us the variation of the left hander. So if he comes in at five, you could play Jadeja at seven and then play Venkatesh at six, and you got three. Suddenly, you got three left handers in that place, which is good because you have top heavy of right-handers at the top, and then you got the left-handers coming in. So I
Yes.
think number five is a good position for Rishabh.
Mm. And we have to talk about King Kohli, right? I'm no unfortunate. I know you criticized a lot about King. I mean Virat Kohli in the last 2020. When I get it, even I also sort of was not. I was a bit worried about his form, but today's 50. I mean, it was a bit slow. I would say it's even though it's 126 his strike rate. But your thoughts? I mean, the crucial 50. I mean, alongside I think Kohli and Pant did have a partnership, if I'm not mistaken. But your thoughts
Yeah,
on that half century from Kohli?
yeah. Kohli was interesting today because he went aggressive at the start, and Rohit dropped a bit of anchor, and then as soon as Rohit got out, then Kohli was there, and then Pant, he played himself in a bit. So Kohli dominated the. I know his strike rate was 126, but he actually played really well. Should have got out at 46, I think, when he was dropped by Alder on
Yeah.
the boundary. So he should have
Yes.
probably got out of that. But I think overall, I like this aggressive Kohli, and something we might criticize him, but the fact is he's Virat Kohli. So as long as he can get his form back, how is he going to get his form back is the big question. Is it outside the team or is it inside the team? And because
Mm,
he doesn't play any cricket outside India or RCB.
yes.
It has to be, unfortunately, during the team, because like some of the players now, you see Ranji trophies happening in India now, so a lot of these players will get some kind of cricket prior to the IPL.
Yeah, very true. And what a partnership between Rishabh Pant and Venkatesh Iyer, Pajis. I mean, brilliant from Venkatesh Iyer. I mean, the adaptability, especially in 2020. I mean, he opens for KKR, but he bats at number 6 for India. Then he bats at number 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken, for his domestic team recently in the Vijay Hazard Trophy and even in the Said Mustaq Ali Trophy. So this is good to see from Venkatesh Iyer that he can bat anywhere from number 1 to number 6
Uh,
and
it,
brilliant
it's
transformation.
it's an amazing talent, and that's what I'm saying to you. Some players, they have to bat at a certain position. So we've seen Ishan Kishan now. To be fair, Ishan Kishan is really a one or a three. He can't bat any. He can't bat four. He can't bat five. He can't bat six. So and even with the great KR Rahul, who I really like, to be fair, he has to open at one or he has to come in at four. So. You really to get a player like Venkatesh Iyer, I think for 1 to 6 ODI and T20 perfect match. I don't think he has the temperament or the batting style for Test cricket. So
Hmm.
yeah, definitely 1 to 6. I would say Venkatesh Iyer for me. Superstar player, and that should give India time to move on from Hardik now. So Hardik should be playing. Venki should go because he gives us a lot more options.
Very true. I think they need to move on from Hardik Pandya, in my opinion. Even though they are giving thoughts once his fitness comes back, they're saying that Hardik might get a chance. But I hopefully think that Venkatesh Iyer will continue playing because this guy has tremendous talent. Even with his bowling, his batting, I feel like Venkatesh Iyer has a lot to offer in the future, in my opinion. Especially seeing this
Yeah.
lineup. But yeah, I mean, somebody will have to give up for KL Rahul's place in the first place, but I don't know who. I think maybe it's going to be Shan Kishan, maybe.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
but
I think Ishan will be out and KL Rahul will come in. I think that will be the opening pair. Then Kohli at three, and then the fourth position. I like Surya Kumar Yadav, but would Venkatesh, Shreyas Iyer come into that position, or would it be Surya Kumar Yadav? Or the player I think should be there is Sanju. So get Sanju Samson in at number four. I'd love to see Sanju in that position.
but 180, do you think it was enough? 186 on this Eden Gardens pitch. Do you think that was a brilliant score put up by India,
Uh,
or do you think they were a bit short?
It was a par score. It was a very good par score. Anything over 180, you need to get 180 at Eden Gardens for you to have any chance of winning the score. But the fact is, India messed up because when West Indies, the last 3 overs were amazing bowling by the Indian bowlers, which saved them. Otherwise, you would have thought, with the way Powell was playing and the way Pooran was playing and the batting depth that they have,
Hmm.
I think that's what happened. It was really, really good bowling from the 17th over from Harshal, the 18th over from Bhuvanesh, and obviously the 19th over from which went for the 360s. But I thought he was going to do it. I honestly say I thought he was going to do it.
Very true, very true. Yeah. And talking about the West Indies bowling, I mean, Roston Chase he has been really good so far in these two 2020 matches. I mean, he's a bit underrated, I would say, Roston Chase with how he's bowling. But yeah, I mean, the fast bowlers, Jason Holder was bowling too many full tosses, and we saw how Rishabh Pant hit that one-handed six of Jason Holder. So. Yeah, overall thoughts on the West Indies bowling. Once again, I think the fast bowling is a bit worry, especially Odion Smith only 1 over 10 runs. Kyron Pollard 14 runs of 1 over. I mean, Punjab Kings are very, very overconfident, I would say, of Odion Smith, whether he'll perform well in Indian conditions, bought him. Do you think this could be extra pressure now for Odion Smith when he's going to play for Punjab Kings this season?
100%. I say you look at the two players and you think Rodman Powell or Odion Smith, which one do you go for? On this performance, it will be definitely Rodman Powell because Rodman Powell reminds me a lot like Russell. I think he's got that skill of Russell. He has the muscles. and he can hit the ball a long way. I haven't seen enough of Odean Smith to say whether he will do it, but Delhi Capitals fans will be happy with Rodman Powell because I think he's an
Yeah.
upgrade on Hetmeyer. So I
But I
think
think even Cottrell bowled really well. Even I think he considered only 5 runs in an over, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think in the last over he was a bit tad expensive. I think went around 7-8. But I think he should have bowled his 4 overs. I was surprised because I mean when Romario Shepherd has economy of 11 and bowled the extra over of Pollard. I mean. Puran could have done. Pollard could have done a better job in handling the bowlers, in my opinion. I mean, the bowling rotation was very poor from Pollard, in my opinion. Could have at least restricted India to around 170 perhaps.
they should have restricted to India to 170. But as I said, the problem is Sheldon Cottrell will always bowl an expensive over, whether that's the third over or the fourth over. The first 2 overs are pretty good, so he could have probably bowled one more of Sheldon Cottrell before the last over because I think that's what the worry was. But we have to say, Romario Shepherd did bowl a brilliant last over. So the last over Romario Shepherd bowled was on par of what Bhuvneshwar and Harshal Patel
Sure.
bowled. So I think that
Very true.
balances it out. So you can't complain about the captaincy because the last over went for there. If the last over was expensive, you could have said, "Oh, that's poor captaincy," but he actually bowled it quite well. So I would say overall, yeah, Sheldon Cottrell should have probably bowled the third over straight
Mm.
away, and
Yeah,
then not given the time off, and then just have one over in the kitty, whether he wanted to bowl that right at the end or when he bowled it. So.
very true. Very true. But coming to the West Indies second innings, and I don't need to. I know Puran and Powell. I mean, one point they were controlling the match. I mean, they were so close to beating India, and unfortunately, Puran got out at the wrong time. But talking about these two, Puran and Powell, especially Puran. I mean, this jinx of Punjab Kings. You go out of Punjab Kings, both Ravi Bishnoi and even Puran is performing well. What has happened? I mean, what's this transformation of Nicholas Puran? I mean, he's change of style. I mean, we don't see him much in India performing like this, but in both these 2020 matches, he's been very, very consistent, especially 62 or 41, tremendous. Even in the last 2020, he scored a half century. So, what do you think were the factors that Puran is performing this well in this 2020 series so far?
I think it could be that he's wicket keeping. I think that could be one of the reasons why he's playing so well. He's actually now wicket keeping. So if he's now wicket keeping, he's looking where the ball is, and then he can play well with Punjab Kings. He was either sometimes wicket keeper, sometimes he wasn't. He was in the field. So I think that's probably the biggest change is that he's actually wicket keeping. So he's keeping an eye on where the bounce of the ball is, and again that can reflect in his batting. And if he has a good if he has a good innings behind the stumps, he will be able to transfer that to the batting. So I think that's probably it. I think we have the same thing in Rajasthan with Sanju or Joss. Does Joss
Mm.
does Joss bowl is just Joss better whilst he's a wicket keeper, or do we have Sanju as a wicket keeper? And Sanju
Yeah.
dropped quite a few catches last time, so I think Rajasthan might be looking
I
at that.
think Josh Butler is a tremendous wicket keeper, in my opinion. More than Sanju, I would feel like Josh Butler has done very well for England. Also, I know his test wicket keeping hasn't been that good. It's a question mark, but I feel in 2020s, I think he can keep. And I don't know. It's a very 50-50 call, I would say, between
I
Samson
think
and Butler. But
the best call would be if Josh opens, he
hmm,
doesn't wicket keep.
okay,
If Sanju wicket keeps, Sanju shouldn't open. I think that's probably the fair balance on that one. But I like to
yeah,
see the wicket keeper batsman, wicket keeping first and then coming in with the bat. I like that combination. So I think
yeah,
that's
very
probably one of the
true.
things that we could do. But overall, I say India batted well, bowled well, dropped a couple of catches in the field. So I think they deserve to win this game. Now
Hmm,
that they're 2-0 up, what they need to do, they need to say, look, what we now need to do is give all the other
experiment.
players squad a chance and
Hmm.
then build their confidence because obviously with the World Cup coming up, the IPL coming up, it's good to have all these players that they have in the squad getting game time. So definitely Gaikwad to come back. Definitely Lord Thakur instead of Deepak Chahar. I would definitely
Yeah.
make that switch. I would keep Venki in because Venki could do with the
Do you think
confidence.
that they can change Harshal Patel for the next match? Could that
I
change the
don't
formula?
know. I don't think they've got any other bowlers. I don't know who the other bowlers in the squad are that they can replace him with. So,
Mm,
but I think
mm.
Thakur for Chahar would be a good swap because I think that's just one of them will go to one of them will go to Australia. So
Yeah.
I think Bhuvaneshwar, to be fair, I don't know which one to take because obviously
Okay,
Bumrah.
Madhur actually suggesting something. Yeah, Madhur, you can talk. Yeah, you were saying about Avesh Khan. Yeah, Madhur,
Obviously,
you
yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
speak.
Yes, yes. Can we bring Avesh Khan instead of Harshad Patel in third T20?
I'd like
He's in
that.
the squad.
I
He's in the squad first of all, Avesh Khan.
Yeah, he's in the squad. Yeah, he's in the squad.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Maybe that change could be interesting. Yeah. And Madhur, your thoughts on Roman Powell and Nicholas Puran, and you being a DC fan, how impressed were you of Roman Powell? I know this is not an IPL or anything. I know this is just India regular match. To see Powell perform in India, forget about IPL, but thinking about Roman Powell's performance today, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, good performance by Roman Powell and Nicholas Puran. The India win by 8 runs. If they didn't perform well, then India must be winning by more than 8 runs. They will win by maximum 20, 30, or 40 runs. But yeah, good inning by both the players. Also, we saw talking about Nicholas Puran, we saw SRH struggling very much in middle order in 2020 and 2021. So Nicholas Puran can bring some explosive inning in middle order for SRH, and Powell is best.
Hmm.
As I said, that
Haji sir, I'm
situation.
coming back to you. He says cricket talks. I mean, Yashu says I think Ruturaj needs to wait for Sri Lanka series. But when they win the series, I mean, can't they put out Ishan Kishan? Maybe I mean KL Rahul's not there. That's the problem. The wicket
Yeah,
keeping is a problem. But maybe Pant as a wicket keep Ishan Kishan. You put him out and then bring in Gaikwad back. Could that be an option
yeah,
for the
yeah.
third T?
Easy. You just drop Ishan Kishan and you bring in Gaikwad, and you've got Venki, you've got Pant, you've got left-handers in the team, so it's not like you need a right left-hand combination. And even if Rahul was KR Rahul was fit, he'd open with Rohit. So I think not a problem. I think Avesh Khan and Madhur said perfect choice. I think I would say yeah, bring it either rest Bhuvi or and bring Avesh Khan in, but and Deepak out and bring in thing. But they must bowl Venkatesh in the next game. They must give him at least
Hmm.
a couple of overs to see how he bowls. So I think I say India have got it sort. They've got it sussed there because I think they've got enough players there that they can come and shift. And there's not a big change with the ones that leave. So if you say Ishan Kishan goes, you are actually replacing him with a better batsman, which in my opinion is Gaikwad. If you got somebody like Thakur and Deepak, they are roughly the same ability. There's not much difference in their ability. And then you've got Avesh Khan, a young, quicker bowler, and that somebody who might bowl well in Australia. You give him a chance instead of someone like Harsha Patel.
Wait, yeah, Madhur, your thoughts on Ruturaj getting a series? I mean, getting a chance in the Sri Lanka series instead of this current West Indies series. Do you feel now they won the series 2-0, they can experiment the team a bit and make some few changes?
I want that Ruturaj will have to give a chance, but I don't think that Rohit and Rahul Dravid will go with him in the Sri Lanka series. They think they wanted a innings from Ruturaj Gaikwad in IPL. Then they will decide for the upcoming T20 World Cup and the series between T20 in between IPL and T20 World Cup in England or and South Africa coming in India. So yeah.
Yeah. Rohan here says RCB fan, even Pantas DC captain was happy to see Powell power. Yes, I do
Oh
agree on
yeah.
that.
As I said, he reminds me of a better Andre Russell. So the
Hmm.
amount of power that he has, the
If he
muscles
can
that he
improve
has.
his bowling a bit, I mean, Roman Powell can bowl a bit. We have seen that in the CPL. If he can, I mean, if Pollard can give him a chance to bowl, I mean, he bowled in the LPL as well, and quite okay, I would say. Okay, I mean, in the CPL, he did bowl well for 1 or 2 innings when I watched. So maybe if they can give him a chance to bowl just like Romario Shepherd, I think he'll be a very handy all round also for even IPL team or even for West Indies in the future, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. And as I said, West Indies they look really good. As I said, they got the power hitting. And today
Hmm.
it was just the brilliance of India at the end. which meant that they couldn't chase that down. And
Yeah.
uh, they,
But
they,
I
they,
got a question on their West. I mean, the openers of West Indies. This is the issue I have. I know Brandon King is good. I mean, Kyle Mayers. I'm a bit surprised that he's playing in 2020. In my opinion, I feel like he's more of a test player, and especially I'm not. I really don't think his opening. I mean, opening with King does work for West Indies. I mean, they don't have a Evan Lewis, if I'm not mistaken. So what's the issue over there with the opening? I mean, talking about that option. I mean, Kyle Mayers isn't much
You
convincing.
definitely
I think with
open
that
with
Lewis.
Evan Lewis. To be fair, Evan Lewis played for Rajasthan. He was absolutely amazing with Yashashvi, and I really loved watching him. But and I actually did say in the auction I'd get him back. So I would say Evan Lewis definitely walks into that team. So Evan Lewis and Brandon King, I
Yeah, I
think that
think
would be
Kevin Lewis is not in this playing. I mean, in this squad. That's the biggest issue. I think they have a Shea Hope. They have a Shea Hope.
yeah. See,
Yeah, that's it. I think that's the only choice they can make for opener. I would
yeah,
say,
yeah.
unless they make Austin Chase to open, which he has done for Barbados Trident. Sorry, Barbados Kings. I think in
But
the CPL.
but I have a point.
Barbados Royals.
Sorry,
Barbados
sorry,
Royals.
Barbados Royals. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so
It's
sorry.
our
Yeah.
sister franchise.
Yeah. Rajasthan Royals is the franchise. I'm very, very sorry about that. So
No, that's
sorry
fine,
about that.
fine, fine, fine,
Yeah.
fine. But they were
But
the
Ruston
Titans, and
Chase, yeah,
obviously
I
we
mean,
got
Ruston Chase has opened for Barbados Royals, if I'm not mistaken, also. So maybe they can make him to open, or maybe they can make Shea Hope to open. So, I mean,
yeah.
Kyle Mayers for me is not a convincing choice, in my opinion.
See,
Not a
see,
I
perfect
think
choice.
Pawan,
the big question
Pawan.
for them would be whether
Yeah,
they
yeah.
keep him.
Okay, Madhur. Yeah.
Pardon.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that they have to change their whole the lineup because both the openers doing nothing for them. So I think that Shea Hope and Roston Chase have to open, and the place where Roston Chase is batting now. At that, I want Fabian Allen.
It
Mhm.
could be.
Interesting.
But Brandon
Interesting.
King played really well against England in that series, so
Yeah.
they got to stick with him. They have to stick with him. But yeah, Kyle Mayers, drop him and bring in Evan Lewis, and then you've suddenly got more dynamism because Brandon King can play the two innings, he can play the slow innings, and he can play the quick innings as well. So
Mm.
Evan Lewis, you say he's the blaster, and then you
But
say
he's not there in the squad. He's not there
he's
in the
not in the
squad
squad.
just
That's the
for
thing. That's the
personal
thing.
reasons.
I'm talking about now in the World Cup. You'd probably Kyle Mayers wouldn't be playing. But what they should do now is just change their whole 11 for the last match as well. I'd say the same thing for West Indies and India. What they should do is give all the other players that are in the squad, give them a game and just see how they do because it's important
Mm.
to give them game time before the World Cup.
Very true, very true. And talking about Odion Smith also, do you think they'll drop him also for the last 2 year? Maybe give a chance to someone else.
It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one because you want to give the guy confidence and he hasn't really performed, has he? So maybe the crores, the 8 crores or 9 crores, what they paid for him has got to his head, and he's been partying hard. That's all I can say.
Yeah, just like what Nicholas Puran has been partying, but at least he's performing on the field with the bat. Yeah, but talk about the Indian bowling. We'll talk about the Indian bowling because I mean, Bhuvi has been so much criticized on his death bowling, but today at last I've seen. I mean, after like a year or two, I've seen Bhuvi bowling well in the death overs, only conceding 4 runs in the final overs. I mean, sorry, in the 19th over. So, your thoughts on Bhuvi's bowling and Harshad Patel, comparing both of them? How good was Bhuvi today?
Bhuvi was amazing. Bhuvi was really good. As I said, I think it was kind of a few shots because he did bowl the full toss and they didn't go to the boundary. But he did bowl well. But as I said, when it comes to Australia, I don't think he has the bowling style to bowl well in Australia. He cannot bowl the death bowling in Australia. He'll get whacked. So, and I think the same will go for Deepak and the same will go for Shardul. So only for me, one of them comes in, and you obviously have Bumrah to bowl your death bowling. If Bhuvi can bowl, the thing with Bhuvi and Thakur and Chahal is they're good at right at the start. If you give them 3 overs at the start and then 1 over, say before the 15th over, then you get something good for them. But to rely them at the death bowling is difficult. And off with Harshad Patel, exactly the Indian conditions suit him. Him
But
bowling
not
in Australia, I think, will be a massive problem for India.
so who would be ideal three fast bowlers along with Venkatesh Iyer perhaps for India for the 2020 World Cup?
Bumrah,
Yeah.
I would say I would Umran Malik. That's the one I want. And
Mm.
the third player would be Arshdeep. That would be my three: Arshdeep, Umran Malik, and Bumrah. I think you have a
What about
really,
Deepak Chahar or Shardul Thakur
and then
alongside him?
one of them, Deepak Chahar, Shardul Thakur. I think one of them. You can't pick both of them in the 15, 16 man squad. You can't pick both of them. You only have to pick one. So I would probably go for Shardul.
Very interesting. Yeah, Madhur, your thoughts on the fast bowling as well of India today?
See, as a DC fan, I prefer Shardul Thakur.
I know you would say that, but being a bias, I mean, talk. I know you're DC bias, but talking overall on this India bowling squad, I mean, bowling lineup, I mean, today, Bhuvi, Harshad Patel, and Deepak Chahar. How impressed were you, especially on Bhuvi's death bowling? What did you notice so special
Yeah,
about his death bowling,
yeah. So
especially in the 90th over?
let's talk about both pacers and spinners. So first, Bhuvi impressed me a lot. I was thinking in uh, before the match start, because I was thinking that can Bhuvi be the most economical bowler? Can he do one thing? Can he do? And he has done. So this is
Hmm.
a proud moment for me.
Yeah,
Talking about Harshal Patel, I think Harshal Patel needs to be dropped from the team, and he needs to be dropped from the World Cup squad also.
but I mean, he didn't have a bad death over. I mean, the last over he bowled pretty okay, I would say. Even though, I mean, sorry, I mean not the last over. I mean, one
But
before the last, if I'm not mistaken.
The
Yeah,
17th
but
over.
he
17th over was
17th
good.
over, 17th over.
That was
Yes,
a brilliant over. That was a brilliant over.
that was a brilliant over from Harsher. But the 19, obviously, Roman Powell smacked him for two sixes, and he
Yeah.
somehow came back and somehow won the match. But I don't think always Harshad Patel would do like this. So there should be a
Not in
solution.
Australia. Not in Australia, because I think you need more than a slow ball in Australia, and I think that's where the problem is. I think in Dubai is the perfect conditions for Asha Patel.
Mm,
India is not. Well, today it was fine because, I think the damage here was done in the 17th over. He bowled that over very well, and then
yeah,
India were always kind of above the 8 ball until the last over when I really did think the 4 sixes were going to be hit. Uh,
true. True.
so it's difficult. So that's what I say. Avesh Khan, maybe
Yeah,
Arshdeep,
I think
maybe
Avesh Khan
Imran
should be
Malik.
given a chance.
You've got
Avesh Khan
Umran
should be given.
Malik. They've got plenty of options that they have. So for me,
I
I
think
think,
Umran Malik is not in the squad once again.
yeah,
Rajesh.
I know, but he'll have an excellent World Cup, and then you got a bowler that can bowl.
Fingers crossed that both Umran Malik and
but
Ashdeep
but
Singh get a
but,
chance.
but this Indian Premier League tournament will be his most watched, because if didn't perform well in this tournament, then he will not get a chance.
Yeah,
Mm,
100%. That's right.
very true. And
But
talking about the spinners,
Umran Malik will give you the 148, 149 ball.
true,
Consistently
true.
give you that, and therefore
Yeah.
you finally got the Yorker King,
But
and
do you think that Umran Malik is so consistent, Fajis? So that's it. When I was watching SRH, I know he has the pace. I know he has the pace, but his accuracy and his lines, and especially his leg brace, I'm not bit convinced about Umran Malik yet. I think there's some sort of remodel. I mean, he needs to be a bit more accurate, in my opinion, and that works in the domestic when he works for 2 or 3 more years. Don't you think it's too early for Umran Malik right now?
yeah.
I mean, I know he performed quite okay for SRH, but I'm not sure whether he's fit enough to fit to play not fit whether he can bowl those accurate lines for team India in the World Cup. That's
Well,
what 2024 Cup.
that's the key. I think the one this season will be the make or break for him whether he goes to the World Cup, and if he can have a good, I think economy rate around 8, yeah, that will be fine. If he gets an overall economy of 8 and takes around 15 to 20 wickets, then he should be on the plane. But if anything underneath that, he might struggle, because the thing is now we've got the good balance because you have Venkatesh in the team. So Venkatesh can bowl the 2 overs if they go expensive. That's the key of the formation. Is one of your bowlers gets expensive, you can get away with Venkatesh bowling, and Hardik is not going to bowl, so Hardik should you should be near the squad. You get Venkatesh there, and then you've got Deepak, one of Deepak or Shardul. So you've got your bowling batting all rounder as well, and then you've got two other spots. So I think that's how they should go.
Yeah, SL video here says after long time Virat Kohli hit a 50, well played. not after a long time, but I think he didn't play I mean, aggressive approach. I would say for a long time. I would say, but he scored a 50. I think in the ODIs
Yeah,
and
he's,
Test.
he's, he's scored a couple of 50s, so he's not gone
Yeah,
on.
but still, I mean, this is a good approach from Kohli at last. Yeah, Madhur, your thoughts also on Virat Kohli today, which is not spoken much. Madhur, okay,
Yeah,
Madhur is
yeah.
not.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah,
Is
your
my voice?
thoughts on.
Yeah, yeah. He performed really well. Also, a brilliant inning from him. Brilliant inning from him after he stepped down from the captaincy. Last year, when last I think in 2019, and when West Indies came to India, he show 94 not out and win for India. Same he did today. But yes, this is a defended match. But yeah, really good to see back that uh, Kohli is back in his form.
Very true. And talk about the spinners. Last point before we try to wrap things up. But Chahal and Vishnoi, I mean, both of them. I mean, seven economy. Were you impressed with both Chahal and Vishnoi today against West Indies, Paji sir?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I think, and again, you got to remember bowling second when there's due is always got to be a factor. And Jahal bowled well in the power play as well. So I think
Yeah.
they both bowled well. They took they got the openers out. I think did they get both openers out?
Yes.
They got both
Yeah.
openers out. So they did the job. But again, as I said, from the World Cup point, you've got to put in Ravi Jadeja because Ravi Jadeja again shoe in for the Indian team because he does one thing, he bats. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to have that right balance of batting skills and bowling skills to win the World Cup. Because if one of your bowlers is expensive or has an off day, you've got to be able to call on other resources in able to cover that one. So
Do you
I
think
think
Akshar Patel has a chance in the squad, maybe for the 2020 World Cup? Because last time I think he was dropped also due to this left arm
Bharat
spinning
Chakravarti.
option.
Yeah, yeah, you got to have. I think if Akshar Patel has a good IPL for Delhi, he will definitely be playing for India in the World Cup. But as the understudy for Chahal is the first spinner. The second spinner will be Jadeja, and then Aksar will be the next one down, and then you could take one more spinner if you want to. So I think
Yeah,
that's the order.
maybe. Do you think Rahul Chaha has a chance? I don't know. I mean, his Dubai
No.
form wasn't that convincing, but I don't know whether he'll perform well for Australia. I mean, this IPL also might be a make or break for him for Punjab Kings. So
Yeah,
I
I,
mean,
I don't see it. One, he doesn't bat. That's the big problem. And the other thing is that he's more economy driven. He has a good economy. So Chahal gives you economy. He gives you wickets. Yeah,
hmm.
and then you've got Jadeja that gives you the option of the left armor, which is very very important, and he can bat. So Rahul
Even
Chahal
Washington
is
Sundar could be in consideration as well. Maybe. I mean, for that all round,
which one?
maybe
Who's that?
Washington Sundar. Washington
Washington
Sundar.
Sundar is below. He's definitely below Bapu Aksa Patel. You can't pick Washington Sundar ahead of Aksa Patel. So yeah, maybe Washington comes fourth or fifth, but India have Bishnoi. They even have what's his name? They have plenty of options there.
Yeah,
So
but
Harpreet Brar,
what
I would
about
like to see Harpreet Brar in there. He'd be awesome.
But what about experimenting Kuldeep Yadav in the last 2020
Yeah.
Paji sir? Do you think that will happen? Maybe for a
100%.
Chahal?
They should give him a chance. They should give him a chance. He's in the
Hmm.
squad. They've won the PAYTM trophy. Why not play him? There's no ranking points, so there's nothing really of any significance. Then give the guy some confidence. And he wears the blue jersey. He plays the game. He won the trophy. Why not give him a game? I really really will be disappointed um, with Rahul Dravid if he just says, okay, this is the 11 that won, we just play them in the final game. I don't think that's
Very
just
true.
poor management.
Yeah, Ashutosh says Bishnoi, Chahal, and Jaddu are the ones in the 15 for India for the 2020 World Cup. And he's saying that Sundar is becoming more injury prone. Hard to understand how a spinner is getting hamstring injuries. Your thoughts on this, Madhur?
I do. Sundar will have to be back for Team India because he is the guy after Shardul Thakur who can give you batting, who can give you bowling. So yeah,
Interesting,
and
interesting.
and
Yeah.
to- and talk, and
Yeah, your thoughts on this? Yeah, yeah. Your thoughts on this on Bishnoi, Chahal, and Jaddu, Madhur? Do you think those three spinners, or do you back some other spinners? Maybe three or four. I don't know.
see, Kulcha Kulcha's that line. Kulcha's career is end now.
Hmm.
Now we have to bring a new combination. Maybe it's Yuzi Bishnoi, Yuzi Noi. Maybe you can whatever you can think. But I think that Kuldeep is no more for Team India and Bishnoi is now for Team India. So
Hmm.
Bishnoi
And,
and
and
Chahal
let's
will
not
be.
forget Ash. Let's not forget Ash. If Ashwin has a good,
Yeah, Ashwin.
if Ashwin has a good for RR, which we all hope, then he's already got the partnership with Jahal at
Hmm.
Rajasthan, and they can
That
take
will
that
work.
to India.
I agree. I definitely agree on that. Yeah. And Cricket Talks is asking, when can we now see Varun Chakrabarti again, Paji sir?
It's over. It's finished. Time is over. He really flopped badly in the last World Cup.
2020 World Cup.
he
Yeah.
he let us down. He's not, as I say, he can't bat. His fielding is dodgy. His fitness is dodgy. I can't see him. I can't see him being playing there. I think he's a good bowler. He's a mystery. The mystery is finished. So he's a mystery spinner. Once the mystery has been solved from the mystery spinner, there's nothing left, is there?
He said Nitish from Bihar. It was Madhur who came. I don't know what he's referring to on Nitish. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I think Paji sir, we discussed everything.
Yeah.
And great series, I mean, for Team India once again. They won the PAYTM series once again. Looking forward to the Sri Lanka series next week. I think India will easily whitewash Sri Lanka with how Sri Lanka is performing in Australia, by the way. No chance I would feel for Sri Lanka unless it's a test match.
Yes. Yeah. I think that again, another big series for India because giving them the players that are wearing the jersey means the players that aren't wearing the jersey outside the team, they've got to really, really perform highly to get them out. So anybody who's in the squad now is in a very, very strong position.
Yeah. Congratulations to Team India. So they win another PAYTM series. They beat West Indies 2-0 and looking forward for the third 2020 on Sunday. So please do subscribe to the Sports Breakdown. Please like, comment, and share on this video. And thank you so much, Paji sir, once again for joining on the Sports Breakdown. And please do follow him on Instagram as well as he goes live also certain times. But thank you so much, Surinder Paji sir, for coming on the Sports Breakdown.
Thank you so much, Bob. Great show. Really enjoyed myself. God bless. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much and have a good night. Good night, guys.